is happening, everybody? My name is Beth and welcome back to Every Day is Spooktober. We're in the final week. I'm trying to push out the Halloween themed content as much as I can. So for today's review, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we're reviewing Trick or Treat. Yes. So this has been on my list to watch for a really long time. I've seen so many people talk about it. People, recommend it. So I thought it was time to do it, specifically because it's set on Halloween. And all I can say is this is definitely a Halloween film. Watch this on Halloween during the spooky month to get you in the mood for sure. This is the one. I watched this film last night and I have to say, I'm not 100% sure if it was for me again. It's like another Terrifier for me. So it's, if you've seen my Terrifier review, in that I sort of state that the film's not for me, and that's just sort of how it is. And that's just how it is with Trick or Treat. It's not my kind of film. It's not what I would typically go and watch, but I did want to give it a go. There was things I appreciate about it. There was things that I did not so much like about it. So this is just my opinion. This was made in 2007, which in my opinion is quite shocking because when I was watching it, it just seemed more like ahead of its time. It didn't seem like it was set that late. Like I thought it was at least like 2014, 2015, but yeah, this was made a while ago, which is weird to me that I've never seen it, but it gave me very much like scary stories to tell in the dark vibes. Obviously for those of you who have seen this, you'll know that obviously it's multiple stories meshed into one. It's kind of like following around different people on Halloween night, and they're just being different situations that these people are in, etc, etc. So yeah, it was very different to anything I've seen, and it wasn't what I expected at all, which sometimes I think can be good because it caught me off guard. I thought it was interesting that we have like 5 different stories like interwoven within each other, and then all of them sort of have the same link with this guy. Does he have a name? So correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this guy is named Sam, he's so cute. Okay, not when he takes the mask off. When he takes the mask off, I don't even know what that was. But when he's in his little costume and he's like walking around, it's like the cutest thing ever. If I'm totally honest, this film didn't scare me. It wasn't one of those films where it's really scary, hide behind your pillow. It was more, let's have fun with it. Let's bring some gore and some jokes and some laughter to Halloween. And I think, I 100% appreciate this film for those aspects. The fact that it's spooky, we've got pumpkins, we've got people dressed up, going to Halloween parties, murdering people, trick-or-treating. There's so many Halloween aspects that I absolutely loved that aspect of it for sure. And with the 5 different stories, there were some that I quite enjoyed, but then there were some that I didn't, because they were a bit OTT in my opinion. The one with the principal who's a serial killer, I really liked that one. Although it didn't go on for as long as I hoped it would. Like this one was the story was quite short compared to other ones, which I was a bit disappointed with. I wish I would have seen more of him. The guy that plays the principal, he's a great actor. I think that was fun. He definitely has like serial killer vibes. It was kind of funny, it was kind of cheesy, but I quite enjoyed that one because it was like short and sweet. And then like when he's burying the bodies in the back and then his son's like in the window like screaming down to him like, are we gonna carve this pumpkin now? And he's like, shut up. Loved that bit. That was so funny. That was definitely like my favorite part, one of my favorite stories for sure. And then I think my other favorite story had to be the portion with like the old man towards the end, the grumpy old man, when we get more of Sam coming in and we take his mask off and he's like weird, don't know what he's supposed to be, don't know what was going on. It kind of reminded me of like Halloween Season of the Witch, like with the masks on, like that's what it looked like, which was really weird. Not a lot of context as to what he is, why he is the way that he is, etc, etc. I need to do a bit of research to find out more. But I really like that sequence where like the old guy's running around his house and there's like, he gets his like ankle slashed and he's like trying to shoot this thing and it's just coming back to life. I think that was really fun too. That gave like spooky elements and it was fun. I think the other few stories were a bit like for me. The couple that are coming home from like the party, starts like taking all the decorations down. That was a bit blah, that was a bit boring, that was a bit slow. That wasn't, it was kind of like Principal One, it wasn't very long. Yeah, I didn't massively like that one. I thought it was a bit blah. And then I think the like sort of main story here is obviously the one with the kids that go down to that sort of like that hole or river or whatever where the bus flew off and all those kids died, where they play that trick on that girl. I thought that was alright, but I think that was way too long, and I think it dragged a bit for me. I think we got about like halfway through the story and I was like, oh, come on, like give us something else. Like it was a bit slow, it dragged on for a while, and it was kind of predictable what was going to happen, I think. Where they like scared the girl and then the real dead kids actually come out and obviously scare them. But it was pretty gangster when the girl that they scared, she just walks off, all the other live kids down there to die, and I was like, yeah. And you just see her walking home and she's just like, don't mess with me. I appreciate that, I like that. And then I think the one with like all the college girls and they're trying to get their friend like laid or whatever, I thought that was kind of stupid. I didn't particularly like the story. It could have gone anywhere else and I think it could have been more interesting, but just in my opinion, I didn't like it. It wasn't engaging, it wasn't interesting. It was just like kind of dumb, and then they will obviously turn into vampires and werewolves and it was like, like, be more creative, man. Like, do something else, do something that's not so cliche. But then again, it is Halloween, so my one thing here is I just loved how they just tied everything up together. So like it literally was, it is kind of like watching, for example, like let's say you watched Halloween like 2018 and you have like different groups of people running away from Michael Myers, their situations, what's going on with them. It's kind of like watching that, except obviously there's a story within each one. And I quite like that because it's a different way of storytelling. It's a different way to, you know, show audiences what's happening. And it's not all the same. It's not slow because it's always changing to different characters and different situations. So I can appreciate that for sure. I love how they tied it up at the end, and at the end we kind of see all these people involved in the stories and they just sort of live near each other and they're walking down each other's roads. I think that was really cool. And yeah, I think it was well made, especially for its time. I definitely would whip this out on Halloween, you know, make it sort of a yearly thing to get you in the mood for Spooktober. That's what I thought of Trick or Treat. I think if I had to give this a rating, I'd probably give it like a 5.5 out of 10, maybe a 6. I don't know yet, I'm still thinking, but I'd probably give it, we'll go 5.5 for now. I might have to rewatch it and just, you know, maybe I'll watch it again next year and see how I feel about it. But yeah, that was just my reaction to Trick or Treat. Let me know what you thought. Have you seen it too? Do you think this guy's cute? Because I think he's adorable. I hope you guys are having a good Halloween. This evening, I'm actually going to a outdoor movie theatre where I'm watching Hocus Pocus with a friend of mine. So that's going to be really fun. So we're going to be sat out in the cold at night with a few drinks to warm us up. And we're going to watch Hocus Pocus. And I haven't seen Hocus Pocus in forever. So I'm excited to see that. And then I think after I see that tomorrow, I'm definitely going to have to hit up Hocus Pocus 2 and see what that is saying too, because I'm yet to see it. So stay tuned for those reactions because they will be out back to back this week. Fingers crossed, everything goes to plan. And many more to come before the 31st. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.